Hi everyone, Maria here, and welcome to Season 1 of GguttALKS, GGUTT, a podcast focusing on business and tech for good, experience design, and gut feelings. You talked about the brief. So how do you translate the brief from the client into audio logos?
Okay, there's a little bit of sensibility and gut feeling there as well, because we need to create an interpretation of the words that our client or the agency is telling us to do to musical terms, right? So they maybe are telling me, listen, this is a bank and they need to have some be safe, and it's a very serious and conservative brand, and their color is red. So we need to take that and create an audio logo, right? So this is a real case, what I'm talking about. We created the biggest cooperative bank from Chile. It's called Copeuch, and that was the brief. That was the actual brief. It was it's a cooperative bank that they are really conservative. They haven't changed anything from their branding in the last 50 years, and now they want to connect with a younger audience. So. Okay. So what we did was we came up with an audio logo by playing a guitar, an acoustic guitar, because an acoustic guitar is a representation of the cooperativity, because it's such a
here in Latin America, the guitar is like a really popular instrument. And it kind of tends, for example, in a lot of campings, it would be played around the fire and would bring people together.
It's so close. Yeah, it's like it's an instrument that is so close to the people. And cooperativism, we also used a lot of voices, like a choir, because it's a really abstract concept. Cooperativism to music. So we tried to sell the idea of what we were doing, and it was like a really soothing audio logo, nothing very crazy about it, because it's a bank and you need to be safe. You don't want your bank to be crazy at all. So that's how we do it. It's like
we use a really stable scale, because then if we can get into a little bit of the academics behind music, there's a couple of conventions. Like, for example, there are scales that tend to sound more stable than others. So you can get really into that. Also, the color of the different notes. Their notes, you can have the same chord in two different notes, and one would sound brighter and the other one would sound darker. So there's kind of a lot of tools that we have at our disposal to try to convey that feeling. But it's one of the key parts of the briefing for us. If we get to hear the people talking about their brand or the brand that it represents, the process is a little bit easier, because you can read the sound of the voice, you can read the way he's looking, the gestures of the hands.
Yeah. So you look at the five senses, actually, and then with your creative skills and your technical skills, because you were mentioning early on as well that you love playing with technology and so on, you managed to come up with proposals. I think that's an intriguing process. And I think we're going to be hearing about audio branding more and more, as you were mentioning, actually. But I want to go back a little bit into the business side of things. There's three of you, and you said, and plus the client.
Third person, now that you're saying.
Yeah, right.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
Welcome.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. I'm hearing another voice, by the way, another sound.
Maybe it's the cable, or it's like a noise?
It's like, shh. It's gone now. Okay.
Great.
Cool.
Yeah, cable.
All right. So we have Mauro with us now.
Yeah.
So, jump in. nice to meet you. And then we'll have an intro about you after. So I want to ask you, now there's 3 of you actually. I was saying 2, now you are 3. There we go, bonus. How's your decision-making process? Because you're saying, you might prefer something, and, you, Gabo, might prefer a specific direction. Mauro might prefer another one. Dalmar preferred another one as well. How do you go about it?
At the end of the day, we vote. And usually there's always 2 against 1, so that the matter is decided there.
Yeah, being 3, that's a very cool advantage, because there's always a bigger part of the decision.
Yeah, besides, we know each other so well that there are no ego whatsoever around an idea. We don't fall in love on our own ideas. So if Mauro tells me, I don't like what you are doing, it's okay, because I know that he's coming from a place that we are all together going to the same direction, right? Yeah. So if he's saying I don't like it, it's because it's not good.
Yeah.
So it's okay. I'm going to do another thing, or let's go in another direction, right? So there's no, it's not like an artist or a band or some that one comes with an idea and I want to do my idea, because it's not like that, right? It's what's best for drop music branding or for our clients. What's best for drop music branding is what's best for our clients. And if drop music branding is okay, the 3 of us are okay. There is no copyright behind that. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, it's because, when you're one co-founder, let's say one founder, you're the sole decision maker. When there's 2 of you and you're not always okay, there's kind of conflict. So when you're 3, it kind of makes it easier. But I know that the ultimate goal is to do well, what the brand needs. But
I need to say that I'm the one that is more about business development, and I've been networking a lot on the past 2 years, and I've seen a lot of people, designers or brand experts, that are alone in this journey, and I can't understand how they do it. It's like I couldn't be happier working with my partners. I love these guys. We are best friends, as I said before. We've lived all our life together, and think that it's a better journey when it's a shared journey. So I would advise anybody to go and find a partner and do this with somebody else, because they support you when you are down and you share the victories. So it's always a win-win.
Yeah, I mean, the episode number 7, that I released this week, is also 2 cousins, and they wouldn't have done it without each other, actually. Sorry, these are the Milan bells. Can you hear them?
Yeah, we need to go record them right now.
Yeah, it just takes like 3 minutes. 1 minute. So, I just want to, end this part with like the kind of business side of it. Are you okay with that?
Yes. Of course.
Okay, cool. Just let's enjoy the bells. It comes into the recording. I've tried before, so I'd rather just take a small break, if you don't mind.
I would leave them. It's like the proof that you're in Milan.
Well, speaking about audio branding, which case is better to explain it than the church and the bells? That's audio branding.
That's one of the oldest.
One of the oldest. We are here. We're the church. Dun, dun.
Yeah.
And they keep reminding you that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, the bells here are, I think I've written the hours down, just to be able to take my calls in that sense. They're really nice to hear, but when you're recording, it's kind of difficult. But I like the way you're putting it, because I'm using the gong, but actually I could have used the bells as well in the audio branding. And you're absolutely right, because each time I'm on a call and someone hears the bells, everyone loves it. always.
Yes, it's something that it's very characteristic from the place you are living, you know.
Yeah.
Place audio branding is a really big thing. Now tourism is really low, but before we were really aiming to that because the cultural experience of traveling is one of the greatest, and culture really translates into music, and music makes the
Music is
places
total.
unique, right?
We had the opportunity to pitch, but not to do it yet, the audio branding for a whole city.
Yeah, that would be,
Wow,
yeah.
that's brilliant.